Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to another 7 Deadly Sins video. So, today we're going to be going over some news actually, which is a little weird because I've never done this, but so we're actually going to get our first collaboration event tomorrow, which is super cool. And this one is really special because from what I understand, on JP, after they did this collaboration, it kind of led way for them to start adding the original characters that they have on the JP side of the game already. So Lilia, and I think there's one other character that's pretty cool, but I don't remember her name off the top of my head. But Lilia is the main original character that everybody talks about, and there's two different Lilias from what I understand. There's a green one and a blue one. I think the green one would be the first one that would come out, but I think that comes a little bit later after the event is over and everything, so not positive on that. So yeah, but we're getting a collaboration event with Tensura, which is that time I got reincarnated as a slime. I have no idea what this is. I've never seen it or anything like that, but some of the characters do look kind of cool. But you can see the period of maintenance is going to be tonight. For me, I think it's around... I think this is around like 1 a.m. or so. Yeah, 1 a.m. to, I think it's around like 3 a.m. for me. Or it might be 4 a.m. because it's 3 hours. But yeah, so they're doing the collaboration. They're actually adding Demon Meliodas, the red Demon Meliodas that we got in the... we got a banner for him a couple of weeks ago, and I really tried to pull him on that, and he's getting added to the coin shop tomorrow, so that's really cool. I'll probably end up trying to pick him up if I end up doing some summons and getting some platinum coins in the future. But yeah, so this event is actually kind of interesting because the characters in it aren't particularly good. The only one that's actually pretty good from my understanding is Benimaru, but you're pretty much just going to be summoning on this if you want to have like the collector's mentality, I guess, of it, and you want these characters because from my understanding they haven't come back to JP since this collaboration event, which is always a big thing. Anytime that I play, there's another gacha game that I used to play called Crusader's Quest, and they used to do collabs every so often. I think there's a collab going on that game right now actually, but yeah, I used to play that game a lot, and every time there was a collab, they would do the collab, and the characters were normally kind of OP, so everybody would try to pull on those characters, and they wouldn't end up returning. So the only way to get... I don't think there was a way to actually get the collaboration events after they were already gone. So this is kind of your chance to get any of these characters that you want if you actually do want them. But from my understanding, they're not anything like super good or spectacular or anything like that. Just kind of like the collector aspect, because I don't know. But so we'll go over a couple of them. So Rimuru is the first one. She's actually only an SR, or maybe it's a he. I'm not sure. But yeah, so the passive skill heals HP of all allies equal to 5% of the diminished HP at the start of every turn. That's pretty much the same as the red Elizabeth that you can get, but hers is actually 10%, so it's much better in that regard. So I don't know, that's kind of one of the reasons why you wouldn't really want this unit, because there's another unit that already does the passive better. But Water Blade is the first skill, removes buffs from one enemy and inflicts damage equal to 220%, 300%, and 400%. This one also cancels stances as well. So that one's okay, I guess. Like, you can use it as a decent like little support unit. Second one is Full Potion, heals HP of one ally equal to 300% of attack. This one, and the second time it gives it grants debuff immunity for 2 turns, which is pretty okay. And then the third one actually goes on all allies. So nothing crazy. Like, it's okay as a support unit, I guess. If you wanted to level them up, I guess you could, but I don't really see why you would use this over somebody else who's pretty much already in the game who does basically the same stuff. Inflicts damage. The ultimate is Black Lightning. Inflicts damage equal to 630% of attack on one enemy and depletes 3 ultimate gauge orbs. So that's pretty much the same as Gother. I don't know about the damage percentage or anything like that, but whenever you use Gother's ultimate, he depletes 3 gauges. So he's okay. Like, he's not bad. I guess you could use them if you really wanted to, but I don't see any point other than just being like, hey, I have this unit, like I have a collab unit, but whatever. So then you have this Rimuru, which is, I would assume it's the same person. Like I said, I've not watched the anime or anything like that, but it's more of like a human, I guess. I don't know. But so, passive, Friend of the Storm Dragon. Increases defense-related stats by 8% if the hero takes damage. So, limit up to 5 times. So I guess every time it takes damage, you gain 8% defense stats, which is kind of nice. I guess you could use it as a tank. Or just some kind of wall, I guess. I know Deldry just came out, and you can actually use or put taunt on other allies, so you could potentially use Deldry maybe to let her soak up all the damage. Not sure about that. Johanna is the first skill, inflicts rupture damage equal to 180%, 270%, and then 450%, so nothing too crazy. I don't know exactly. Rupture, 2 times damage against buffed enemies. Okay, so at least it tells you right there. Second skill is Obstruction. Assumes a stance which grants debuff immunity for 1 turn, heals 30% of diminished HP at the start of the next turn. So it's kind of like it's not really like a block. It almost reminds me of, what's his name's skill? There's a character, it's Bond. It's one of the Bonds. I want to say it's Red Bond. No, it's not Red Bond. I can't remember which Bond it is, but one of them, I think it's this Bond actually. Assumes the stance which grants debuff immunity for 1 turn, heals 50% of diminished. Yeah, so it's this move right here. It's basically the same stuff that Bond already has. It seems like, I mean, obviously they're characters that are from a whole different series, and they need the skills to be like somewhat, you know, translated over to this game. So obviously they can't make anything too crazy, or else they will be completely overpowered. But it just seems like they're kind of recycling stuff, or like changing the numbers on certain skills that are already basically in the game, and then just giving it to these new characters. So ultimate combined attack which one is the combined attack? I would assume it's this one maybe, but I'm not sure, because one of them you partner with Nalyd. But Devourer is cancels buffs and stances on 1 enemy, inflicts damage equal to 490% of attack, then stuns for 1 turn. So that's basically like, I think it's green Captain Meliodas that stuns after a hit. So that's kind of like that. Equal absorption, cancels buffs and stances on 1 enemy. Okay, and this one's literally the same thing. It just does 70% more damage. So I would assume this one's the one with Meliodas as the link there. So it's okay. Like, there's nothing crazy, but I mean, I'm sure you could end up using these units to a pretty decent potential. Moving over, we have Mileena. She seems cool, but I have no idea really. Dragonoid increases crit damage by 8% per skill used by the hero, limit to 10. So this is literally just Jericho. Or no, actually it's not Jericho, because this is crit damage, not crit chance. So I would assume you would just build a whole bunch of crit chance stuff on her. I'm assuming her crit chance is probably already pretty high, 80%. So yeah, she's like basically just another crit build sort of character. Firestorm is our first skill. Inflicts spike damage equal to 160. 240 and 400% on 1 enemy. Spike is 2 times critical damage increase, so that's kind of cool. Nothing too crazy there. I mean, I'm sure she could do some like massive numbers if you built her right and you actually like poured some time into her, but I don't know if she's really worth like spending the crystals on to get and everything, or well, diamonds. Quick Wind, second skill, inflicts damage equal to 60% of attack on 1 enemy. Disables ultimate moves for 1 turn. That's actually pretty alright. I could see that being useful in like PvP and stuff like that, because I honestly feel like PvP is like a huge race to get your ultimate anyway, so this could be kind of helpful. It's not too crazy. This one actually at level 3 it goes on all enemies, which is kind of nice. And it disables for 2 turns. So I guess if you used Gother, you could kind of push that up to level 3 and then kind of hold them out of ultimate for 2 turns, which is kind of cool. But I don't know. It would just depend on your personal preference and strategy that you want to use and everything. Ultimate is Dragon Buster, inflicts detonate. Detonate 15% additional damage per orb in the target's ultimate move gauge. That's actually kind of cool. So you would wait for them to get more built up before you use this. Inflicts damage equal to, or inflicts detonate damage equal to 350% of attack on all enemies. So it's an AoE skill. I would say that's actually not too bad. Depending, you know, obviously it's all situational, but she seems kind of cool. I would actually be more interested in getting her out of any of them so far, but I'm still not sure if I actually want to use any of my gems, because with Green Lilia coming out, from my understanding on JP, they pretty much gave everybody Green Lilia and got her to 6/6 on her ultimate for free. I don't know if they're going to be doing that with Global or not, but that seems really cool. And I don't know if you have to actually spend any gems or anything like that to get to her, or like what, if it's like a step up banner or something like Elizabeth was, but I don't know. I'm just gonna, I might summon a little bit on this banner, but I'm not sure yet. Benimaru is his ultimate, or his passive skill is Unbreakable Pride, increases the hero's damage by 3% per skill used. So there's no limit on it, as you can see. So potentially you could build him up and start doing some really massive damage if he like survives towards like the later end of the battle. First skill is Fiery Slash, inflicts weak point damage equal to 110%, 165%, and 275% attack on one enemy. Weak point is 3 times damage against debuffed enemies. So I don't know, does he debuff Dragon's Cut? Decreases defense-related stats of all enemies by 20% for 2 turns, 30% for 2 turns, and 40% for 3 turns. So yeah, he can debuff and then start, you know, dealing more damage because of that. That's actually kind of cool. I can see why he's probably one of the better ones of the group, especially with his 3% skill increase, or 3% damage increase per skill used. So he could be kind of cool. I would be interested in trying to get him maybe. Ultimate move is Hellflare. Inflicts damage equal to 560% of attack on one enemy, decreases skill ranks, then depletes the ultimate gauge by the number of skill rank decreases. So I'm pretty sure this is just the same as what's her name's? Elaine. Pretty sure that's what one of Elaine's skills do. I think it's this one actually. Yeah, so at level 2 and level 3 of this skill, it's pretty much the same thing. Decreases skill ranks, then depletes the ultimate gauge by the number of skill rank decreases. It's kind of weird that that's his ultimate, but I don't know. It's kind of cool. You could just, I would imagine you would just kind of throw him out, like start the battle with him, and then just kind of try to rush ult as much as possible, so that way he can like use as many cards as he can, so that way he can start building up his attack stats, and then just kind of ultimate to decrease their skill ranks whenever they get like decent cards ready to use, and then yeah, take it from there pretty much. Just keep dealing out damage. So he seems cool. I may end up trying to summon on this banner. I don't know. I'm still not super sure yet, because I haven't gotten used to the crazy rates in this game yet. It's only like a 3% chance to pull an SSR on most banners. So yeah, I guess we'll have to see tomorrow. I'll try to make a video tomorrow whenever the banner's actually out and up, and we will look at it a little bit and maybe do some summons. So yeah, hopefully this was, you know, a decent video. Not sure, I've never done a news video before or anything like that, but I'm sure there will be doing some in the future, and I'll try to keep updated on this. I actually have this page, or not this page specifically, but I have the Netmarble forums bookmarked, so that way I can kind of look over it every once in a while whenever there's new news announced. So yeah, I'll try to keep you guys updated in the future. Feel free to subscribe, because I am going to be doing a lot more Grand Cross content coming up, and that's pretty much it. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.